Hi guys, it's Jay from Ayaba's Wind again. I'm here today to do your October 2019 reading, monthly reading. As you know, I'm a fellow Leo, so I'm really excited to hear what your spirit guides and protections have to say for you for the month of October. I am a priestess in the Afro-Cuban tradition, amongst many other African-based traditions. So I will be reading Orisha tarot cards from an Afro-Cuban spiritualist perspective. Okay, and then I'll later take from Odu, sacred Odu, which in my tradition it's a sacred doctrine that governs the way we live and helps us to fulfill our destinies in the most positive way possible. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of seconds to acknowledge your spirit guides and protections, go into the reading, and we'll see what happens. Some of the information may resonate with you. All of it may resonate with you, or none of it may resonate with you, in which case that's quite all right. If it does resonate with you, please like, share, and subscribe for my upcoming videos. I'm looking to add more content to the channel, so just be patient with me. It really takes a lot of spiritual energy to get the videos out, but to do it correctly. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Light, peace, and progress to the spirit guides, protections, guardian angels of the Leo collective fire sign, whose birthdays range from July 23rd to August 22nd. Light, peace, and progress to the spirit guides, protections, guardian angels of the Leo collective fire sign, whose birthdays range from July 23rd to August 22nd. Light, peace, and progress to the spirit guides, protections, guardian angels of the Leo collective fire sign, whose birthdays range from July 23rd to August 22nd. I come before you here today as your vessel to channel the information that you want your Leo children to have, to help to uplift them, to protect them, to help them to be able to move forward in this world, in this earthly plane successfully. I pray that the information that you give flows accurately and abundantly, and I pray that you will help the Leo collective to fulfill their dreams, accomplish their goals, and fulfill their destinies in the most positive way possible. I honor your energy here this evening, and I thank you. Mo dupwe. Adupwe. Okay, so we have your cards. So let me just sort the cards out. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start off by showing you the cards, and then we'll go into the conversation about it. You got 4 cards that came reverse. I'll kind of weave in the reversals as we go through it, all right? So the first card that you got is Karma. And in this card, you see the scales, you see the eyes, you see the Ankh, which represents the feminine energy and the male energy united here. And you see a woman here in her older years kind of reminiscing or looking back at the things that have happened in her life. And then you see her as a young child. And so karma talks about it's a little bit having to do with like judgment, um, justice. These are the scales of justice here. So whatever you've done is going to be coming back to you in the month of October, okay? If you put out good things, then you're going to get good things back. If you put out bad things, then bad things are going to come back to you this month, okay? These energies can prevail for several days, several weeks, or actually several months, depending on how spiritually evolved you are, okay? So these are the scales, and basically you have the sun shining down, and spirit, the divine, will determine how your destiny moves for the month of October. Okay. The next card that you got is Eshu, and so in Eshu in my tradition is the male aspect of God that deals with chance. Games of chance, trickery, options, free will. This energy prevails predominantly at night. And so Eshu came reversed. So basically, Eshu is an energy that gives you choices and gives you options. And so sometimes this energy can basically be like the devil's advocate, okay? So there will be a number of doors and he'll be pointing to all the doors, and it's basically up to you to decide which door you're going to walk through and how you're going to move through the world, okay? Eshu's announcing that something is off balance, something is not right. So we'll kind of determine what's going on later on in the reading. The next card that came is the Four of Earth, which is the Four of Coins in traditional tarot. So the Four of Earth talks about holding on to things. Sometimes you may hold on to things too tightly and may not surrender them or let them go. That could be finances, that can be in, love, romance, passion. And so this came reversed. So in the reverse condition of this card, it's talking about letting go. Letting go. Also, as far as a financial perspective, if you were holding tight to your money because you didn't have much, money is now going to flow. Money is coming. So you will be able to possibly spend a little more freely, give a little more freely. So, times ahead financially are going to be on the up and up, okay? It could also be that with this card, a Taurus energy is going to be moving in your life. It could be a Taurus person, someone with Taurus in their chart. Okay, I really don't do signs, but like this is so clear and obvious. Okay, that so a Taurus may figure prominently within the month of October for you. You have the Three of Water that came. The Three of Water is the Three of Cups in traditional tarot. So the Three of Cups commonly talks about celebrations, things of that nature. However, this has to do with fish. In some cases, the Three of Cups or the Three of Water can talk about a third party. It could talk about someone that you are dealing with on the side, outside of your regular relationship, or someone that your partner is dealing with on the side. So just keep that in mind. The Three of Cups can also mean that there's a third party situation, that there's a romantic interest. In my tradition, and also in my culture, especially in the Afro-Caribbean culture, um, and usually in the States as well. When someone dreams of fish, it's really someone that could be pregnant. It also represents fertility. So during this time, you, if you are a female, could be very fertile for the month of October. October is ruled by Venus. And so in this time, in this energy of Venus, be very careful of pregnancy, okay? If you're a male, be careful of dealing with women during this time sexually, because you could get them pregnant. If you're not ready for it, pregnancy is imminent, all right? So just be very aware and cautious. Also, these fish can represent wealth. Usually, many towns and villages were developed around bodies of water because of fish, the ability of um, the fishermen to get a lot of fish to sell in the marketplace. Also, fish was wealth. I mean, that was food, right? And so this could represent wealth that's coming in abundantly. So just keep your eyes open for that. The next card that you got is the Seven of Earth. And so in traditional tarot, it's the Seven of Coins. And it's basically, waiting for your fruits, the fruits of your labor to come in, right? But it came reversed. So there's something that's stagnant. It could be that your fruits are coming in already, that they're on their way, they're about to come in, but it can also mean that something is stuck here. That financially you may be like in a holding pattern until the energies pass through and lighten up. Okay, so this could be a number of things. You see that this guy is he's climbed up the coconut tree, and he's basically pulling the fruits of his labor. What the seeds that he has sown, now he's reaping. Okay, and so in the reverse, it could be that you're still waiting to see the fruits of your labor. You're still waiting to see the seeds that you planted. Okay, and that could go as far as finances, and that can go possibly as far as love is concerned. The other card that came reversed is the Guardian Angel, okay? You see the Guardian Angel has two vessels, clay pots of water. Your Guardian Angel is that angel that protects you, but your Guardian Angel came reversed. So that lets me know that something is off spiritually, that you really need to begin to pray more, to meditate more, to get in your zone, to clear your chakras, to go into meditation, do your mantras, go into yoga, Reiki, whatever it takes, whatever is required for you to get back to spirit, get back to center. And kind of hone in on your spiritual abilities and your gifts, and to go into um, basically kind of like a spiritual kind of spiritual, not sleep, but a spiritual meditation. Okay, you can chant mantras and do your affirmations in the morning and also in the evening to get started. You can get singing bowls to clear chakras, to clear your space, and you can get a candle, and simply sit there and close your eyes and breathe and meditate. I have mantras on my channel, on my featured channel there, so you can check out my page for that. But definitely something is off. All right. Your guardian angels want to fill your cup. If you feel like you're lacking in anything, lacking in your relationship, you're not getting the love, the affection, the attention that you need, your guardian angel is going to fill that void for you. But something is holding up progress, okay? It could be that your head, your mental, you're not in the right space to do that. There could be a lot of chaotic things around you. There could be a lot of distractions, and you could possibly not be tuned into spirit the way spirit needs you to be. So your guardian angels and also Eshu are coming to announce that something is off, something's not right, and that you need to get back on track. The next card that came up is the Five of Water, and in traditional tarot, that's the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups talks about crying over spilled milk. But here in this card, it shows this man is trying to save himself. It shows that there are organisms nipping at his feet. He's trying, the water is almost over his head. He's trying to save himself. So this could be the current condition for some of you Leos right now. You can feel like you're in over your head financially. You could feel like you're in over your head emotionally. It also could be that you may be drinking too much. You may be drinking too much alcohol, and that you need to stop, okay, so that you can get solid footing, you can think clearly, and you can be able to turn your situation around for the better, okay? But it shows that this person is trying to save himself. And so the positive aspect of this card is that you are trying to save yourself. You are aware that something is not right, something is off, and that you're trying to gain your footing, okay? And you're going to gain your footing through prayer and through meditation, and through getting in tune with spirit so that you can get focused to turn things around. Here, you have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords talks about, in traditional tarot, talks about like mental imprisonment, okay? However, in this picture, there are a ton of um, weapons being drawn on this bird, okay? And so this bird represents you. So what the card is saying to me, what spirit is saying is that you could potentially be under attack. You could potentially be under a spiritual attack. You could have enemies that are around you, both known and unknown. Okay, and that spirit really wants you to keep your eyes open. And maybe this is why your guardian angels came reversed, announcing that something was not right, okay? That these enemies maybe have done some work, maybe they've done some kind of root work, some black magic, some done some brujeria or witchcraft to kind of throw a wrench in your progress and your forward movement, okay? So you are not down yet. You're represented by this bird. You are not down yet, but you could have been under attack, or you may currently be under attack, or this attack may be coming soon. This air attack lets me know that it could be spiritual in nature. Okay, it could be spiritual in nature. I don't necessarily think that it's a physical attack, although things may be manifesting around you. In a not so positive way that lets you know that something is a little off. There may be some stagnation, things may not be moving, things that we're going to go through are now falling through for whatever reason. So just keep your eyes open for that. Okay, and so the last card that you have is the Six of Fire. So the Six of Fire is the Six of Wands in traditional tarot. So the Six of Wands in traditional tarot talks about you being victorious over your enemies, being victorious in all of your situations, okay? In this picture, it shows that there's like an exodus and that there's a leader leading all his people out of this place, you know. So they could be leaving because they had a victory. They could be leaving to go hunt for something better, bigger. And so it shows the full moon. So you may be seeing some changes around the full moon. And I think the full moon is occurring around the 13th or 15th of October. So just keep in mind, next week you could see some changes. Now, in the traditional aspect, it could mean that, you know, these enemies that are pursuing you, that have done stuff to you, evil eyes, gossip, slander, any brujeria or witchcraft, it could be that spirit is saying that you will be victorious over your enemies, both seen and unseen. However, in another aspect of this card, it could mean that there are a lot of people that are against you, that are not in support of you or your endeavors. And it does show this being at night. So it could be that if people are doing work, negative work, bilongos, trabajos, curses, spells, hexes, anything that's negative against you, they could be doing this work at night, okay? And they could be doing things in accordance to the moon. That's another potential aspect of that, and that could apply to a small group of Leos, okay? That's if things are not going well, or if things are falling through. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, so in looking at this, you know, Spirit is watching over you. Spirit is letting you know that um, those people that are trying to inflict harm and danger on you, they're going to pay for it. Okay, so that's not to worry. But in the meantime, there's going to be some work that has to be done, some things that you have to keep your eyes open for during the month of October, especially. To kind of get through this energy. It shows that things are on the up and up. You just got to turn some things around. Your money could be a little funny right now. And you know, it shows that you're coming up out of something that could have been a drag. Like you could have felt like you weren't really progressing and moving the way you needed to move. But with this karma card, it's saying that things are going to come back. There's going to be justice. There's going to be balance. That the eyes of God are on everyone and everything that's involved in your particular situation. So you don't have to worry, but that you have to be patient, because this is almost like the temperance card, okay? So in the traditional tarot, temperance means, you know, having patience. However, this card came reversed. So it's showing that, you know, you could also be a bit impatient as far as thinking like, when is this stuff going to resolve itself? When can I progress? When can I make the changes that need to be made? When can I get out of this like stagnation, this energy that's trying to hold me back? Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some Odu, to get the advice for you, and then we'll be able to move forward. You may want to get a pen and a pen and paper to write with, because the information that comes from Odu is going to be abundant. And just keep in mind, again, some of this may resonate with you, all of it, or none of it. Okay. In which case, if none of it resonates, then definitely keep it moving, move on to the next. There's plenty of readers out there who you may be able to identify with more. All right. So I'm going to pull from Odu. So just give me a couple of seconds. Okay. Didn't waste any time. All right. So Let's see what Odu has to say. So Odu is a feminine energy in my tradition. Odu is like the womb of knowledge and information. So this energy is going to be speaking, and there's going to be a number of spirits speaking here to illumination, to illuminate you, to show you what's happening and how we can resolve it. Okay. Okay, so the first message that Spirit has to say is that if the person does not know the laws that they must live by and be on the good side of them, then they will be on the other side, okay? So Spirit is saying, like, whatever you do legally, make sure you are following the laws of the land, okay? Because if you're not following the laws, you'll be on the other side, and that means illegal, and there's the potential for you to go to jail or, get in trouble, okay? So basically, what Spirit is saying, be careful of falling objects, watch your head, all right? So watch walking under scaffolding, and, especially in the city where they're doing lots of construction, especially on windy days, be very careful. It's saying right now that your nerves could be a little bad. So that could be causing you problems sleeping. You could be experiencing some form of anxiety. And so Spirit is acknowledging this. Spirit is saying that there's some kind of like scar or mark on your foot. And that there may be some issues with your legs. Okay. So if there are issues with your legs, maybe like circulation, your leg falling asleep, maybe your legs or your feet may be swollen, you definitely want to go get a medical checkup to see if there's anything that is lurking. Okay. Basically, Spirit is saying that if you have a male child, if you have a son, this child may need some spiritual work done. And the spiritual work that needs to be done could be as a result of the child being in danger or sick, or that this male child could be very spiritually inclined and blessed, and that this child could potentially be a big spiritual leader when the child gets older. And so that Spirit wants you to begin to cultivate this child's gifts and talents and spiritual abilities. And so Spirit is calling for that. Also, Spirit is saying that, if you want to like tap into your luck and your blessings, try and dress in more white, as much as you can, because the white will bring you luck. Okay. In my tradition, the color white has to do with purity, cleanliness, and no negative energies can hide or mask themselves in white. Okay, and so the white will pull, positive energy to you and give you the clarity and the strength you need, and also tap into an aspect of God, a male aspect of God called Obatala, which rules the head, and so that will help to keep you clean spiritually, and help you to stay focused on the things you need to focus on. Spirit is also announcing that if there's a business deal that you are contemplating about going into, be very careful. This business deal could be risky. Think long and hard about if you're going to do this deal and how you're going to do this deal. All right. Also, Spirit is saying that if there is a beggar that asks for help, give the help to him, provided that your life is not in danger, that you're not alone, that it's in a well lit place. If there is someone who's begging and asking for help, Spirit is saying give. Okay. This card, I'm sorry, I read this as the four of coins. This is actually the ace of coins, and so that talks about money, but this came reversed. So your money could be a little tight, but that's going to soon turn around. But Spirit is saying that if you give, and don't give your last, don't ever give your last, but give something, because Spirit will acknowledge that and will reward you for those blessings. Okay. um, Spirit is saying that you may want to check your stomach, and check your stomach, go to the doctor and check your stomach. You may be having some digestive issues, maybe constipation, stomach pain, gassiness, maybe some kind of acid reflux. So definitely go to the doctor and get that checked, because Spirit is announcing that there could be something more to the story than meets the eye. Spirit is saying that your house could be in shambles, but to get it in order to regain your luck, okay? So spiritually, your house may not be in a physical wreck. Maybe it is. And if it is, Spirit is definitely saying get your stuff in order. But it could also talk about relationships wise. It could talk about like your relationship with your partner, your significant other is not good. It's not on the up and up. Your relationship with your children could be better. So Spirit is saying that, these relationships may be also what you need to work on, because it seeming like the house, the home rather, where the people are is not as solid as it could be. The foundation is not as solid as it could be. Okay, that maybe people need attention. You need to spend more time as a couple. You may need to spend more time as a family together. Okay, so this is what Spirit is announcing. Um, the next card that came up is where the gutter is born, there is nothing good. So what Spirit is saying is that, if you're associating with people who are, I don't know, like running the streets, involved in street activity, be very careful, because their karma could be your karma, okay? Um, Whatever debts, spiritual debts and otherwise, that they incur out in the streets, um, whether it's drug dealing, whether it's gang activity, whether it's robbing and stealing, whether it's scamming, whatever is happening out in the streets, um, that could fall on you. And so you got to be very careful with that. You're trying to keep your life and spirituality clean and free from chaos. And so Spirit is warning of this, okay? You should not smoke constantly, because there could be health issues, okay? No excess. In this time in October, Spirit is warning, like, don't do anything in excess. No smoking, no drinking coffee, drinking alcohol, sexing, whatever it is. Do not do things in excess, okay? You have the potential to become fanatical at something, whatever it may be. And so fanaticism is not balanced, all right? And maybe this is also why this card, the guardian angel, came, which also could be temperance, but what also talks about balance. Okay, this card came reversed, so things might not be balanced, right? Spirit is saying that you don't prefer loud noises, and that could mess around with your nerves as well. Try to learn to harmonize yourself in the community, in society, because Spirit is saying that, sometimes you have the tendency to be a loner. You don't really want to be amidst crowds. And so Spirit is saying that you may need to like get out and mingle a bit. Um, what you can do, because there's some negative energy that is lurking in the reading here, Spirit is saying that you can collect the morning dew from the plants outside of your house, okay? The morning dew is like, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, when the sun is coming up, and there's dew droplets, there's water droplets on the leaves. Just run your hands along the leaves and take the water that you have in the leaves and just, put it over your head, the back of your neck, your arms, your body, and you're cleaning with that. That's a spiritual cleaning, because it comes from nature, okay? Um, it will also help to calm you, okay? Also, Spirit is talking about growth, fertility, and motherhood, which are born here. So you can't make this up. Remember, I told you the Three of Cups came, right? So Three of Cups talks about celebrations, but there's also fish here. So in my tradition, like I said, fish represent fertility and wealth and prosperity, the ocean, the waters, abundance. Okay, and so spirit is also saying, Odu is saying that motherhood and fertility are here. And so, like I said, you definitely have to be careful of pregnancy at this time if that's not in your plan. Okay. Also, be careful of third party situations. If you have someone on the side, you have a side chick, a side dude, just be very careful of not getting pregnant, okay? Because that pregnancy can cause challenges, especially if it's a third party situation, all right? Okay, so the next and the last message that Spirit has for you, they're saying that water carried in a straw basket. Water carried in a straw basket. So what does that mean? You can't carry water in a straw basket. The water leaks out. So this yet again talks about finances being a little funny, little dicey here. And so this is also possibly why the Ace of Coins came reverse. The Ace of Earth came reverse. Okay, so it's talking about your money could be a little funny. It could talk about like business deals that may have fallen through, business deals that are slow to manifest. Okay, the money is a little funny here. Okay, there's a spirit that wants to be repaid. Okay, there's some spirit that is around you that wants payment, that wants acknowledgement, and that if you give this spirit acknowledgement, you may see your money being freed up. You may see that things will move much faster, that your money that was kind of tied up will now be released to you. Okay, so spirit is saying that there is a spirit around you that wants acknowledgement. Okay, that you could have possibly asked for help for in a prayer. This spirit wants to be repaid, and so how are you going to repay the spirit? You light a candle for the spirit, put a little glass of water, and say, look, hey, whoever you are, spirit guide, I'm giving you acknowledgement. I thank you for your help and your presence in my life. I pray that you continue to help me financially and otherwise, and open up the roads and the paths to my success. Okay. Spirit is warning that you could have a really, really hot temper, and that there could be a situation that inflames you, okay, that can incite anger in you, all right, and that this anger is very dangerous because if you let it go overboard, you could potentially hurt somebody or go to prison, okay. Watch speaking happiness out loud or you will lose it. Okay, so I know that there may be some good things on the horizon for you coming up. There may have been some good things in the past that have come up for you, but spirit is saying be careful of speaking your happiness because there are people that don't have your best interest clearly. Okay, you see that this bird is under attack by all these people that are wielding these swords, okay, these weapons towards the bird, all right. And so just be very careful of that. Don't speak your blessings away because there are people that do have abilities to throw a wrench in things. All right. Like I said in other readings, that people come to this earth with a number of spiritual abilities, and it's also based on their ancestral line. So they don't necessarily have to be initiated in any particular tradition to have ashe, to have strong ashe, to have power to manifest through thoughts and through words. Okay, they may not have to do anything but think a thought or say something, and they can mess your luck up and your blessings. Okay, there's other people that have to go through initiation, maybe that have to go through prayer and meditation in order to strengthen their ache, their power to manifest. Okay, and so spirit is saying do not talk your happiness because you will lose it. Drop toasted corn to the corners to get relief from strife. So Eshu here is that a male aspect of God. Eshu is found at the corners, his energy. Usually at the corners, people are hanging out at the corners. People, convene around the corners. There's car accidents at corners. People get killed at corners. There's a lot going on in the corners. Well, Eshu owns the corners. Day or night, Eshu owns the corners. So basically, Eshu is saying that he wants acknowledgement. He will protect you from your enemies, both seen and unseen, but he wants some acknowledgement. So some of the acknowledgement that you can give Eshu is by taking some toasted corn. You could take some corn on a kernel, put a little oil on it, shave it off, put it in a pan, and broil it or bake it, and to kind of dry out the corn to make the corn crunchy. Or you can get toasted corn online at Amazon.com or any botanica, and take the corn and clean off with the corn from head to toe. Keep it in your hand. You're touching your head, your neck area, your chest, your stomach, your back, your down to your feet. You're gonna say some prayers on it, and then you're gonna drop it at the corner, okay? And that's giving acknowledgement to Eshu, to ask him for help, to ask him for protection, because he owns the corners, okay? He owns the corners. That's why at this point in time, you don't want to stand at corners. If you're waiting to cross the street, stand back. Okay, because there could be potentially an accident that happens that you could get struck. A car could jump the curb. There could be a shooting on the corner. There could be fights that break out on the corner. So Eshu is warning, do not stand at corners. Stand back. Okay? But also to give him acknowledgement. So when you cross over that corner, drop the toasted corn. You can also take candy, or candy that's wrapped, pass it over your head, all over. It acts like a magnet to remove negativity, and you can also drop that on the corner as well, and don't look back. If someone says, oh, hey, miss or mister, you dropped your candy or your coins or your toasted corn, don't look back. Keep moving, okay? Don't even acknowledge them. Those people shouldn't even be touching that, okay? Because you just cleaned negative energy off of you. Don't look back. All right. And also, if you have to cross by that area later on, try and cross on the other side of the street from where you dropped that toasted corn. Okay. So just keep that in mind. If you are a male, then your guardian is at the crossroads. So if you are a male watching this, Eshu is saying that he's got your back, okay? He has got your back, your front, your back, your side. Eshu is saying that he loves you. He has got your back, okay? Eshu wants acknowledgement. Also, what you can do is you can take a little bit of rum, and you can just put a few drops of rum on the corner as you cross, okay? You can do this at night because Eshu's energies are predominantly at night, okay? And so you can tap more into his energy at night. So you may want to hit the corners with a little bit of rum to give him acknowledgement, because Eshu was saying he's got your back, okay? You could take some candy, maybe a few coins, clean off with it from head to toe. Blow your breath on it, ask for blessings, ask for whatever it is you need, ask for protection, and then drop it on the corner and don't look back, okay? But Eshu has definitely got your back. You can't make this up, okay? Odu matches with the cards that were pulled initially, all right? Watch going to jail or being mugged. So at this time, when you're out and about, especially at night, because it shows nighttime energy here, maybe especially around the full moon. This also shows Eshu at night. It's kind of dark, okay? Spirit is saying watch being out at night because you could potentially be mugged or robbed, all right? So just be careful. You do have hidden enemies. So, Mafedi Foon, thank you, Spirit, guides, and protections of the Leo Collective. The cards showed it. The cards show that you have enemies, okay? The cards show that you have enemies. And Odu and Spirit is announcing that you have hidden enemies, okay? Whatever it is they worked, like I said, they did their work at night. And they may have done their work according to the phase of the moon. But Spirit is saying you could get hurt by mistaken identity. All right. So you definitely got to be very careful. Don't dress like other people. Just be very careful. You don't. Spirit is saying that you sometimes have a challenge with dealing with people that are older than you, telling you maybe not what to do, but giving you advice. But Spirit is saying that acknowledge these elders, okay? That they may have some pearls of wisdom to help you and to guide you. That there was definitely some brujeria that was thrown. Definitely. And these people tried to mess with your money, okay? Because, there are earth cards here. They try to mess with your money. They tried to mess with your livelihood. And it could be out of jealousy, okay? And Spirit is saying, like, you definitely need to clean. You would serve to, it would benefit you to, you could get some Abre Camino herb on Amazon.com or at your local botanica. And it's an herb. Basically, you can buy it fresh or dried. If you buy it dried, you boil it in some water, cool the water down, strain out the leaves, and take a bath, a spiritual bath with that after you physically bathe with soap and water. Um, you dump it over your head, you air dry, you put on white, you sleep in white, you sleep in white sheets, don't sleep in the dark, and that will help to start opening up your roads to prosperity and wealth and success and happiness, okay? Because it's showing like your roads are closed. And also Eshu deals with the roads, deals with the crossroads, deals with roads and paths, okay? And so Eshu came reversed. So he's saying that there's obstacles in the way. And your guardian angel also like announced that as well. All right. Don't drink or stand on corners. I told you, just don't stand on corners. Stop partying and reschedule a trip for a later date. Now is not the time to travel. Spirit is saying like these next several days, maybe even this next month, be very careful traveling. Okay. Because you have a lot of because you have these enemies that are lurking here, that are in the background, that are, have thrown something, you got to be very careful. And if you're in my tradition, you definitely want to get a consulta, a spiritual reading by a babalao or a santero, to make sure that if you do need to travel, that you are safe. Okay, you may have to do ebo to make sure that you have safe travels. Okay. Spirit is saying that there's danger in large crowds, and I think I mentioned that. All right. So here you have again, you have these crowds. This card does not look so welcoming. All right. So even though in traditional tarot it talks about success and victory, um, this particular card in translation in the Orisha Tarot, it's saying be careful of large crowds. Be careful of joking with others because it can turn into a fight. Someone could, seriously get hurt. And because earlier in the Odu it announced that you could potentially have a temper, someone could get hurt. Okay, don't break up fights. Also, Spirit is saying you have a friend that is your worst enemy. Okay. They could smile in your face, but be stabbing you in the back. They could smile in your face and be throwing stuff at you. Okay. Spiritually throwing stuff at you, envisioning your downfall, being so jealous and obsessing about your success, obsessing about, maybe your perfect looking family or, things of that nature, and be envisioning your downfall. This is what Spirit is saying. I'm not saying it. Spirit is saying this, okay? Spirit is saying, do not mess with anyone else's property. Just leave it alone because you could potentially go to jail. So if there's some kind of retaliation you're thinking about taking against someone, you don't want to mess with someone's property. You don't want to touch anyone's car. You don't want to touch anyone's house. Don't mess with anyone's property. Spirit is saying you need to be on the good side of your ancestors. Your ancestors are here. They are talking. And remember, I told you there's a spirit that's saying that you owe a debt to. Okay. This could be your ancestors that have done work for you spiritually to protect you, to open up something for you, and now they want acknowledgement. So, what can you do? Your ancestors are, grandparents that have passed away, aunts and uncles that have passed away, people in your bloodline that have passed away. Okay. So, what you can do is you can light a candle, put a glass of water, put their picture up, just cut all the living people out of the picture, call their first and last name, their full name 3 times. Um, Say prayers to them, ask them for help and assistance, pray for their spirit's evolution, and just tell them like you need help, like you want protection and help. You want them to show you things in your dreams. And then after you finish saying your prayer, you knock 3 times. Also, you can give libations of liquor to them, which is, you can pour out some liquor for them, pour a cup of liquor for them. If you know your grandfather liked whiskey, pour a glass of whiskey for him. Get him a bottle of whiskey, crack it open, put it at your little ancestral shrine or setup, okay? They want acknowledgement. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing evil about your ancestors unless they were killers, okay? You're acknowledging the ancestors that lived a fairly decent life. Um, they're in your bloodline. They come. You come from them. You stand on their shoulders. Okay, and so they want acknowledgement. All right. Um, Spirit is saying that be careful of being crippled. I know this is kind of harsh, but just be careful with engaging with certain activities, anything that's going to be strenuous, any lifting, biking, um, being on motorcycles, things of that nature, engaging in risky behaviors that have to do with your body, mountain climbing, um, I don't know, bungee jumping, whatever it is you do, jumping out of planes, hang gliding if you're on vacation, whatever. Spirit is saying be careful because you could get crippled. And definitely don't stand on corners. Like I said, you have Eshu that came in reverse. Eshu owns the corner. The only energy that is entitled to be at the corner is Eshu. Okay? You're at a corner, you're trying to cross the street, stand back. Show respect to Eshu, all right? Watch police coming to your house. This is a really, really hot Odu that has come up for you, Leos. It's really hot. It's inflammatory, okay? So Spirit is giving you these messages. Don't challenge it. Please don't. Because this is a really hot letter right now. Your spirit guides want to protect you. Your ancestors want acknowledgement so that they can protect you. Eshu said that he will help you as long as you give him acknowledgement. Your guardian angel came in reverse. So guardian angels letting you know that something's not right because you have enemies here in here that are working stuff, brujeria, witchcraft, bilongos, trabajos, negative bows, energy. They're throwing stuff. Okay. Um, Yet again, I can't emphasize it enough. Eshu is going to be that energy that helps you out of this. Pour a little liquor at the corner, rum, whatever it is, pour some hot liquor at the corners. Also clean off with some candy. Get some of that hard candy and wrappers, clean off from head to toe. Keep it in your hand. The candy acts like a magnet spiritually. It absorbs any negative energy, boom, 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 all the way down to your feet. And then you're going to drop it at the corner. Okay. And that's what Eshu wants to keep you clean. Um, there is a remedy. If you are experiencing really, really bad luck, if the energies are not, if you're in dire straits, what I want you to do is go to the supermarket or the meat market, get some ham hocks and boil the ham hocks. Okay, cool the water down. Add 21 white flower petals to this concoction that you make. Pull out the ham hocks once you boil them down. Once it cools down, add the 21 white flower petals, and take a spiritual bath with it. Okay. Um, this will help to calm and cool that energy out. All right. You may not want to go out afterwards. So when you take this spiritual bath, make sure that you are in for the night. And you make sure you air dry, you dress in white, you sleep in white sheets, sleep with a nightlight on. Do not sleep in darkness because people are working you and throwing stuff. Yeah. So try to do that and see what happens, okay? That's only if your situation is really bad. So right now, Leos, there's stuff that's going on, but you definitely have spiritual energies that want to step in and help you. So you have Eshu. Eshu wants acknowledgement at the corners. You can do the toasted corn, the liquor, the candy wrapped up, clean off with it and drop at the corners. Okay, you definitely want to watch out for pregnancy because you are highly fertile. If you're a man listening to this, whoever you're with is highly fertile, and that you, when you engage in sexual behavior, you could definitely get someone pregnant. Okay, and just keep in mind, karma is gonna whip around this month, and basically you can't escape it. Okay, so put good out there so you can get the good back, and any negativity that was put out there, people are going to reap what they have sown. Okay, and just like I said, do your spiritual baths, get the abre camino, get also rompe saragüe. So you may want to do rompe saragüe, which is another herb, dried herb you can get on Amazon.com or your local botanica. That will break the brujeria and witchcraft. You take a bath with that. You could do one day or break the bath up into several days. Then you can do abre camino to open up your roads in case your roads are closed financially and otherwise. And then do your white baths. And I have the white bath recipe on the discussion or community section of the page. And other than that, I think you're going to be okay. All right. You're a Leo. I'm a Leo. I have work to do too. And before I did this reading, I read myself. So, I have done the things that I need to do to work on me. So, um, I'm hoping that you will do the same. So this has been your reading for October 2019. Keep in mind that these energies will last for several days, several weeks, or several months. It all depends on you. Prayer, meditation, mantras, which I also have listed on my page. Yoga, Reiki, chakra clearing. All of these things are cultivating your spirit. You're building up your force field around you, and your ancestors also are your line of defense. They are your army that's got your front, your back, and everything. So give them acknowledgement. Do not underestimate. You stand on their shoulders. Without them, you would not be here today. Have a great evening. Any questions, you can email me at ayabaswind, WYND 999 at gmail.com. Good luck.